Hello and welcome to Around the Table with Icon UK and IBM this month for June 2017. Lots of things happening this month, lots of stuff that's happened in the past month, and we are glad to be joined by Sam Crisp and what would have been Chris Moore, but unfortunately Chris isn't well, so we are being joined by Rob Hodges, who is going to stand in for Chris, and be the other half of the demo. So next slide, please, Sam. Hey, there we go. So there's me. So what have we been up to this month as Icon UK? We've been looking at our future, recovering from the aftermath of announcing that we were going to do a live event this year. Sadly, we've been joined by the Australian user group who are not doing an event this year either. I'm not entirely sure what Karen and the crew have found a struggle, but they have announced that they're not having a live event. So we are hoping that they would join us in our virtual events, and we'll see if we can do some link ups with them. Unfortunately, time differences make that tricky, but we'll see what we can do later in the year. We've also been to Engage since we last spoke to you, which was awesome. Theo organised a fantastic user group there in Antwerp, and we all went along, and that was all good. Heard some good announcements about connections and Pink and the future of Domino and all the rest of it. All really, really good. Ed Brill announced that there was going to be a free developer version of the Domino server, which was a great announcement, and we were all really enthused by that. And then I've been off to Social Connections 11 in Chicago, got back this last week, and that was a really good event. Had a good time talking to the crew in Chicago and talking about Connections Pink and what's coming up in Connection 6. And we were scheduled to be talking about Connection 6 and getting ready for Connection 6 and Pink in this session, but we've postponed that to next month because we wanted some, out of the back of the announcements from Social Connections, we wanted some more time to prepare that material. So we'll do that next month. So on July the 13th, we will be talking with Sharon James about how to get ready for Connection 6 and therefore Pink and what that's gonna be. Because there was an announcement on the sly at Social Connections about some changes already to Pink, but we want to make sure that those are fully baked before we talk about them, and make sure that we're allowed to talk about those with you before we go and put our foot in it. So Sam, that leaves me to welcome you to the event, and Chris, the bearded wonder at the top there, won't be with us. Maybe we'll try and substitute in Rob's picture when we get to doing the recording of this, and we'll just overlay and Rob. You'll see Rob magically appear from the right-hand side or something over the top of Chris. So Sam, over to you to tell us what's new, right?
Thanks, Tim. So, hello, I'm Sam Crisp. I am that charming gentleman at the bottom of the screen facing you right now. And I'm just going to go through a few of the things, very quick update on the stuff that's happened over the last month or so in a couple of the key products. And the first, we've got two sections to go through. The first one that is solely around IBM Verse, and then I'm going to talk very briefly about what's in Connections Cloud as well. So within IBM Verse, there have obviously been constant ongoing changes as part of the delivery program to increase usability and add some of the features and functions that we were looking for and that users have requested over the past short while. The first one of these is the much sought after calendar delegation. Now obviously I'm in screenshot at the moment, but I'm just going to take a second to switch over to screen sharing so that you can see and I can demo this properly and show how it works. Good. Tim, can you just confirm you can see that for me?
Yes. Yep.
Excellent. That's right. Okey-dokey. So here we have my admittedly very boring inbox at the moment. Very little content in this one for this demonstration purpose. But there's a couple of things that we've got in here now. If I select calendar up at the top, I'm then taken to the new calendar UI. This is all good and well, but in actual fact, what I really want to do is I want to see what's going on in Chris's calendar. And obviously with Chris not here and not available, there's no real easy way for me to do that without the newly added calendar delegation feature. Up in the top right-hand corner, we've got an icon here with a person that I can then select, and it will let me find the person I'm looking for. So if I start typing in Chris Moore, search directory, find the right Chris Moore, Now I've got a couple of options here with what I can do to him. I can just select him, which will pull up his calendar straight away. I can add him into my commonly shared calendars, or I can see a bit more information about Chris. In fact, he's in the Greenwell organisation. I'm just going to add him first. So there we go, spot that I've already got him in. And now select Chris from here, and I'm taken to Chris's calendar. And so we can see here that same invitation for coffee that I sent him earlier on. Don't really know why I need a dial-in detail for that, but I've also got the invitation from me to him, and I can see everything else that's going on within his calendar. Nice and simple. The next thing that we're going to talk about as part of the call is what's happening with regards to Connections Cloud and some of the other updates we've had there. And primarily, we're going to focus today on the IBM and Cisco partnership, and this includes some stuff on Verse as well. Essentially, what we've done as part of the partnership there is enable our business partners to closely link between their IBM Connections Cloud environment and Verse and their Cisco Spark environment as part of the M2 and M3 bundle. It also means that our business partners are in a position where they are able to add Cisco Spark parts, and IBM is able to add Cisco Spark parts to your existing entitlement. So should you desire either Java or WebEx, speak to your IBM rep or business partner, and they will be able to facilitate. But let's look at some of the integration now. So here I am within my homepage, and the first thing you'll note here is that if I go up into my More Apps section, you'll notice that there is no normal Smart Cloud meetings. Instead, we've replaced that with the ability to host WebEx meetings. So we've just swapped one out from another, which significantly assists our users in terms of confusion, which system should I use, but also means that we can then have it integrated right here from the dashboard. The other way that we can use WebEx is from within Verse. So again, within my Verse UI over here, we can see that I've got a meeting coming up in 10 minutes. If I select show the details for it, and if I select the meeting icon, either by selecting that one or the next meeting session, it will launch me straight into WebEx, and I can start my meeting from here. And once my meeting's up, what we'll notice is that Rob, who has also received that same invite, will join, and I can join this call as well. Just going to close that down. The other useful thing we can do is around Spark integration. So Spark integration enables administrators to say, instead of using the same time or Connections Cloud chat functionality as its default chat, we can now use Spark. And interestingly enough, we can use this cross-organization as well. So if we notice, if I go up to this, let's find the message from Rob. And I'm just going to put some more information about him. And if I select one of the chat icons, or alternatively, if I want to add Rob to my important to me bar, even though Rob is in a separate organization to me for the purposes of this demo, I can still launch my chat from here, and it will launch me into Cisco Spark and open a chat with Rob. That's obviously because Rob has his own Cisco Spark entitlement. So there we go, straight into Spark, and I can say, thanks, Rob. So a great way to further facilitate cross-organizational conversation between several different people in different organizations, and also within your own, provided that your users are using Spark instead of the entitlements for Connections Chat. There's quite a lot of information coming soon as well, and new features that are coming to Connections Cloud. So as part of the Connection 6 launch, we've launched a range of new features as part of Connections, which will be making their way over to Connections Cloud very soon. Some of these include, although we'll demo these in more detail in the coming months, the ability to sync files and folders onto your desktop, and the ability to save time by copying communities. So a community owner can select, when they start their community, either a template community, or they can find an existing one and copy it. And that will copy the layout and general overview and description, but not any of the content, really easily enabling end users to create a simple template overview for a specific topic and then repeat it several different places. As part of that community overview as well, we've also changed the way in which overviews can look to make them much more dynamic and responsive. So different communities, instead of the straight navigation down the left-hand side and content in the center view, can be changed to have navigation at the top and be much more engaging for end users. We've also added the Rich Content app, which enables rich content, and there are several enhancements to the mobile applications as well, both for Android and iOS. Again, we'll come on to more of those and demonstrate those in more detail going on in the next few months. Now I'm going to skip ahead. Very, very brief run through this week, but we're covering Connection 6 and more of that next month. And I'm going to go straight into any questions and find out if anyone has anything they'd like to ask.
So we do have one question already, and that is the calendar stuff for Verse. Is that coming to Verse on-premise anytime soon?
That's an excellent question, and I'm afraid not one that I know the answer to off the top of my head, but I will check in and let you know.
Okay, maybe we can answer that next month then.
Yeah.
Now, one question I had for you, Sam, is, yeah, there was one question from me. When I looked the other day, there was a new version of Verse on-premise that had been released quietly, version 1.01. Do you have any idea what's new in that, or is that just, upgrades to stuff?
My understanding is there's quite a few small usability tweaks that bring it closer in line with the cloud version and make some significant performance enhancements to it as well in terms of how well it runs. But more information, I would have to point you towards the wiki, I'm afraid, Tim.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I just wanted to make note that there was a new version. I did hear from Scott Sauder that if you are running the 1.001 version from, I don't know, February, I think it was, if you were running that on-premise, you really are encouraged to upgrade to 1.01 because they've done quite a bit of work, as Sam says, about speeding up stuff. So you are strongly advised by the offerings managers and people in development to upgrade to 1.01. So take that on advisement. Obviously, do your own testing, but the response from IBM is please make sure you upgrade to 1.01 because it is a lot better than the 1.001.
And just to add to that, the response we've had from clients who've already done it has been full of glowing praise in terms of performance enhancements as well.
Yeah, I mean, my schedule has been mad, so I haven't actually upgraded hours where I work as to 1.01 yet, but that is on my list for this week. So I will take our Verse down for half an hour and upgrade it because that's all it takes. Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in, so I think we should just make this one short and sweet and then come back to it next month with the Connection 6 and Pink stuff. Sam, have you got anything else you wanted to add before we say goodbye?
No, there's nothing more from me, I don't think. Just thank you all for watching and joining in.
Fantastic. Rob, thank you for being the demo buddy this month and standing in for Chris. I know we all wish him well and hope he's feeling better soon.
Yeah, no problem, Tim. Thank you.
Okay, so that just leaves me to say thank you to my co-hosts this month. As you'll see on screen, we have a different date next month. It's Wednesday the 12th of July, not the Thursday the 13th. That's so Sharon can join us and talk about what's new in Connection 6 and getting ready for Pink. Thanks for watching. See you next month.